Okay, so during reading today, what did you talk about with Miss Tessoff? What were you guys
We
working on? Go ahead.
we talked about thick or thin questions. So a thick question is when you have to look deep in the book to find the answer. It's not like right there. And a thin question is like a question like in the book if it says the girl's name is Sally and you ask what is the girl's name, it's already in the book. So you don't have to like look in the you have to look in the book because it's on the page, but you just don't have to go too deep into the book.
What do you guys think about what she said? Can you add to what she was thinking? Go ahead.
Yeah, also because, we had thick questions and thin questions. I was thinking about them, does Miss Tessop had, a very small sandwich, she said, and you said, and Miss Paulus, you said that you had a big one. I was thinking, thin for Miss Tessop, so, Miss Tessop lunch and Miss Paulus's lunch. So, a lot of them were thin questions, so we need to work on, thinking of deeper questions that have... Why do you think? What if? How would you feel if? And what might in them? And Layla?
I think yeah, I agree, and I remember that she did talk, and then I remember that she did tell us about thick or thin questions, and she told us that thin sandwich like 2 pieces of cheese and mayo or something like that, and a thick question was from subs from Jimmy John's, and those thin sandwiches, I sometimes have those for lunch, so they're nice and thin. You find them once you look in the book, it's in there.
Okay, so you're saying that a thin question is something that's in the book. It's easy to find.
Yeah.
It's really thin. And a thick question, can we find a thick question in the book? Or is the thick question going to be not in the book? What do you girls think?
Not in the book.
What makes you say that, Lasia?
Because Miss Tessoff was saying what the book we were reading, they never told us the girl's name, so we'd have to infer what the girl's name was. We'd have to make up a name.
Okay, so when you have a thick question, sometimes you might have to infer. What does it mean to infer?
You have to guess.
Girls, what does it mean to infer?
I think it means
Lasia said it means to guess.
I think it may be to predict.
To predict?
Yeah, to predict I'm predicting what it's gonna be.
Hannah, what do you
What's the
think?
words gonna be?
I think inferring is I inferred to the book by saying, I think she likes horse, I think she's gonna go to the Hoover Dam because she said because in the book she said she really wanted to go. That I was inferring to the book to prove to my suggestion of what she would do.
So really, you all said it a little bit differently, and I think that you all mean about the same thing. Hannah kind of put it all together for us. So to infer means we take what we read in the book and we make a decision based on it. It's not in the book, but we make a decision based on what we've read in the book. So today we're going to read this book. It's called Champ of Hoover Dam. And if you had to come up with a question, just looking at the cover, what question might you come up with? What do you think? Ava?
I wonder if these 3 men will try to and are the owners of this this dog named of a champ, and maybe he's gonna be being in a race because he's called the champ because it says Champ of Hoover Dam.
Okay. Any other questions that come up? Hannah?
I wonder if the dog is going to be a big part of the story or not.
Lasia?
I wonder if the dog is really good at something and the 3 men are trying to capture it so they can use it for their own use.
Okay. Let's start reading.
The desert heat made Helen feel like she was a pancake in a pan. It sure isn't like San Francisco here, she thought out loud. Helen imagined herself walking by the bay at low tide. She could almost feel the cool, foggy breeze that she used to feel back home. Helen's family now lived in Nevada. Her dad worked with a big crew of men building the giant dam across the Colorado River.
What's a dam? What's a dam? Lasia?
Sort of like this hollow, it's kind of like a big, huge bowl, and there's like water inside coming from, I don't know where exactly, but I know there's water in there.
If we look on the cover of this book, this is what Lasia was talking about. It kind of looks like there's a bowl underneath there. Okay? And it collects water. Okay, Hannah, keep going.
I think a dam is like a beaver built the dam. Like beavers build dams to like make the water higher on one side, so on the lower side it's easier to make their house. So like you build a dam to like have a higher water place on one side of the dam and to get the water lower on the other side.
Okay. Keep reading, Hannah.
That evening, Helen sat on the porch in front of her tent home with her dog, Champ. He was a stray dog that Helen had found when she first moved to the desert. Time to pack up tomorrow, said Dad, returning from work. We're moving to a real house in Boulder City. A house, Champ? Said Helen. That's better than a tent any day.
Okay. Hannah, can you keep reading? Ava, go ahead. To yourself. Ava, go ahead.
The next morning, Dad stopped the cart in front of a little white house. Here we are, said Mom. Helen and Champ shot out of the car and ran right through the front door. Champ barked with excitement. A barker, said the landlord to Mom, looking at Champ. Neighbors won't like that.
What questions, Ava, do you have right now? Just reading this.
After listening to Hannah and me and listening to what this says, I think that I wonder where Boulder City is, and I wonder if it's big or not.
What kind of question do you think that is? A thick or thin question?
I think that would be thin, because we're only on the second one or the first one?
The second or first what?
Like the question I asked, where is Boulder City? Is it like far? Is it like far? That's
So
the
is that a
question?
thick or thin question?
I think that would be thick, maybe, because we don't really know it yet. So I don't think it's a thin right now. So I think it's thick right now.
Okay.
It may change though. I don't know.
Okay. Well, let's keep reading, and you can decide if that's a thick or thin question. You can write that down.
Okay.
Okay, keep reading.
Helen soon fell in love with the new house. There was even a girl her age who lived in the house right across the street. The girl's name was Claudia. But soon there was a big problem. You look sad, Claudia said one day as the girls walked to school. Champ tagged along. It's Champ, said Helen in a whisper. He won't stop barking. So the lanyard says we have to get rid of him or leave our new house.
Okay. So you're going to keep reading to yourself. Lasia, can you read for me?
After school, Claudia, Helen, and Champ sat in front of Tom Reardon's store thinking, what if we find a Champ